Hey guys, it's Drax here with another test server update. This one covers the small changes from the 9th combined with the additions from the latest update and an announcement for a playtest taking place today. So first, the changes announced on the 9th. The God Soul's AP firing mode damage has gone from 100 max, 91 minimum to 125 at all ranges. Now I'm not sure if this is a straight buff or whether it just coincides with the different resistances that you see on the test server. It feels fairly similar to what we have on live right now. Say for rank 5, collision damage protection has gone from 20% to 50%. The dev note reads, "This is a minor adjustment that makes the effect more noticeable in some situations." On the Racer and Rival chassis, they've increased the handling responsiveness for the Lightning, Prowler and Vanguard when the chassis are equipped. The air-to-air missiles that we spoke about a little while ago, probably in the last test server update, have had their damage upped from 250 to 350. They did seem a bit low and maybe non-usable, but they've gone up now to a stage where they should be still useful. The Halberd for the main battle tank and harasser now has a 2x headshot multiplier on direct hits. Adjusting this multiplier means that this weapon now one-shot kills on a headshot on targets with 1000 health or less, even through flak armor. Heavies with an active resist shield, full health and flak armor will survive a direct headshot. There was also a load of other air-to-ground, air-to-air changes that look to be still in flux, so I'll take a look at them again when they look to be near completion. So on we go to the latest update. There's been some game meta changes. They've done some additional polish and improvements to faction points drop down for the new alert. All normal old continent alerts have been disabled, and they're currently working to make the territory scoring statistics update more quickly on the main map header. Population controls have been enabled on the PTS. Now the highest populated faction is now balanced against the runner-up instead of the lowest populated faction. And overpopulated factions will funnel players into VR where they can queue for a slot on an active continent. Faction queue only activates when there are more than 75 players on the continent and more than 150 players on all continents combined. So now on to infantry adjustments. And for Nanoweave armor, they've removed the Archer resist type benefit, as that resistance type no longer exists. Rank 5 now reduces non-headshot melee damage by 20%, and rank 5 Nanoweave armored targets now show a resist icon upon impact. The Safeguard implant rank 5 benefit now instantly restores 200 shield health upon being revived as infantry, or 500 health upon being revived as a max unit instead of reducing melee damage. So that's going to make that implant more useful overall. The underbarrel grenade launcher direct damage has gone from 800 to 500, and the smoke launcher's got similar treatment, going from 800 to 250 damage. The nano repair grenade, one of the newer additions to the game, now sticks to generators and terminals. For the NS-45 pilot, we have minor audio adjustments. And a similar case with the NSX Daimyo with a modified firing audio. A much better sound for this weapon right here. Next up is max adjustments, and they've adjusted kinetic armor and flak armor. This says max kinetic armor now reduces different resist types by 20% based on a rank similar to the nanoweave armor. And I did a video on this a while ago, so I'm not going to go into too much depth in this video, but I'll link you to the combined arms armor changes video I done a while ago so you can kind of see what they're working towards with this sort of system. Rank 1 reduces small arms damage by 20%. Rank 2 reduces small arms and heavy machine gun damage. Rank 3, small arms, heavy machine gun and Gatling damage. Rank 4 is small arms, heavy machine gun, Gatling and soft point machine gun damage. And rank 5 is small arms, heavy machine gun, Gatling, soft point and melee damage. Flak armor has been renamed Ordnance armor, and this armor now reduces different resistance types based on rank as well, instead of increasing the resistance percentage each rank. Rank 1 reduces common explosion damage by 50%. Rank 2 adds infantry rocket damage reduction by 20%. Rank 3 adds a resistance to tank mine and C4 damage by 50%. And rank 4 adds tank shell damage reduction by 20%. Rank 5 in total we have a reduction to common explosions, tank mines and C4 damage by 50%, infantry rockets, tank shells, light anti-vehicle and air-to-ground explosive damage by 20%. So onto the topic of vehicle resistances now. And the dev note says resistances continue to be streamlined, please report any standout irregularities. The Thunderer and Ant changes are reversions to their desired PTS state post Combined Arms Initiative. Prior to this update, these changes had been reverted in order to fix a live issue, which left the vehicles in a weakened state on PTS. And these changes affect the Ant, the Thunderer, the ESFs, the Valkyrie, the Liberator and the Galaxy. Vehicle adjustments and the Marauder for the TR Harasser and Prowler has been reverted back to the original Fury style sound effect with a minor modification. For the Spear Phalanx Turrets, these are changes to the VS and TR versions. The VS Spear Phalanx should now show teal tracers in third and first person, and the TR Spear Phalanx Turret, Lightnings and Prowler main cannons should now show red tracers in first and third person. The Ant's default Cortium storage capacity has gone from 5,000 to 8,000, and the Cortium storage cert line now increases storage capacity by 1,000 on the first rank and by 250 every time you upgrade it after that to a maximum of 2,000 extra storage. The Cortium shield now increases armor of the vehicle by 20% on all sides except for the bottom, instead of draining the Cortium on damage taken. And the Cortium shield now has a 200 Cortium activation cost. It stacks with the reinforced armor and mine guard, and has been a speculative fix to cloaked ants being shown up when spotted. For the Liberator, the dev note reads, the following changes move the Liberator towards a more survivable support platform while reducing the vehicle's burst damage. And all nose guns can now pivot while aiming down sights, but it says this feature is not available on PS4. The bottom armor has also gone from 0% resistance to 50%. So first up we're taking a look at the main one I think most people use, and this is the Tank Buster, and the damage has been dropped by a fairly large amount, from 334 max damage, 143 minimum, to 175 maximum damage and 100 minimum. And you can see the effect in these clips right here. But it does have the extra bonus of being able to pivot the gun now. I'm not sure what the Liberator pilots are going to think about this change right here. The vector damage has gone from 375 max, 225 minimum to 300 at all ranges. And the spur damage 225 max, 150 minimum to 225 max and 100 minimum. Its minimum damage range has gone from 300 to 200, and it now has 100 blast damage in 0.5 meters, which falls off to 25 blast damage at 2.5 meters. These changes overall seem to make the Liberator weaker against armor and air targets, but better against infantry with the ability to pivot their weapons and target smaller enemies on the ground. Next we have miscellaneous changes, fixes and additions, and picking out the main ones here, they've slightly increased the brightness of Amrish's Darkest Hour. The Warp Gate terminal at the end of the tutorial should no longer crash the client. The NSX Amaterasu knife can be trialed. Biolab domes will now render the faux dome at long distances. And probably the most talked about one will be the reduction to the camera shake area of effect and intensity on a handful of explosion types. A lot of people have been asking for a reduction of screen shake for a long time, so maybe Battle Hardened won't seem like such a necessity anymore. So that's all the changes and additions, but that's not all I have for this video, because the devs have also announced on rather late notice that a playtest will be taking place today at 3 PM Pacific time again. That's the same time as the last one for anyone who came along last time. It's actually great fun, and with another load of changes to test out, the more people testing them, the better. Hopefully you guys can make it. So once again, I hope you found this vid helpful and informative. For more updates, tutorials, reviews and gameplay, give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time or at the playtest tonight. Later guys.